Hello.
Mr. Attali,
How are
can
you?
you hear me? Can
Yes.
you
How are
hear
you?
me? So my question for you is to how do you see the financial situation now? Because we are really we we're we're really uh, we are waiting for the global financial crisis, and of course I see that what is going on with the Silicon Valley Bank, and uh, I see that it could make big troubles in
I
financial
can. I,
sphere.
I will. If you have time to read it, my office and myself we produce a note on the 2 days ago on the crash on the worst case scenario for the crisis, and I will send it to you. The worst case
Oh,
scenario is not the most probable scenario, but it exists, and we must consider that it is a serious one. But I will
so
send
is
you
it
by
is
by.
it already is it already posted for the public, or it's closed?
No, it's confidential. It's confidential for some head of states. We produce a weekly note on the world situation for head of states and very prominent people. I will send it to you. Well, the worst scenario is a collapse of the Deutsche Bank, followed by a crisis in the American system and a real crisis leading um, to a squeeze in credit and a global recession.
Mhm.
That will certainly create a problem for helping Ukraine.
It's
And is
interesting.
it? I will send
What
it.
do
I will send.
what what do you think? What will happen with the U.S. economy? I had a conversation with the head of Fed, with Jerome Powell, and he told that they don't want to increase interest rate for the long term. So they
No, it was a terrible mistake to do it. We should not have increased interest rates because that created a lot of crisis. That was a mistake, and they have to stop it. But they have done it now, and that means that there is a real danger on banks, which is already going on. But I think they will stop increasing interest rates now because it was a mistake. But as the American economy is concerned, there are many problems ahead. The financial crisis, the debt ceiling, which is now really a problem between the president and the Congress, and therefore
Mm.
there is a risk. I would say more than 30% of a global crisis. I will send it this analysis
It's
either tonight,
interesting.
or
And
tomorrow.
what is your prediction? What in this scenario? What could happen with Ukraine in this
I,
case?
I don't think anyone will give up the support to Ukraine. But suppose that Ukraine has a problem such as war crimes, Ukrainian war crimes,
Mm,
or big scandal of Ukrainian corruption.
mm,
That is the only case where Ukraine could be support to Ukraine will decrease. I
mm,
hope it will not happen.
So you mean it's a reputation risks?
Yeah, the reputation. I mean, you are seen as you know it quite well as the
Yeah.
white knight in front of a black monster. And
Hmm.
if I were Russian intelligence, I will do anything to create a bad image of war crimes in Ukraine and
Hmm.
corruption in Ukraine to give
Hmm.
a bad image of Ukraine.
Hmm. It's yeah.
That's a danger.
I know. I know. I also aware about the protests in France. How do you see it? Is it really serious, and could it lead
Yes, it is.
to uh, big problems for you, for your
Yes, it
government?
is. Yes,
Mm,
it is. You may know that I'm very close to the president. He used to be my assistant, and is getting my advice as often as possible. And I am against his policy for today because I think it is doing a lot of mistakes and is amazingly unpopular. And that's not good.
But
I don't say
why Macron did it now?
it's a mistake. It's a terrible mistake, but he's stubborn.
Mm.
It's not the equivalent of Maidan, of course, but it is very serious.
It could lead to probably popularity of far right or far left parties, in your
Yes,
opinion.
yes, it is true, but there is no elections before 4 years.
Yeah,
Then he
I
has
agree.
time,
And
except
what
if
do
he
you think
does too
about
much.
elections in the US? Will it lead to popularity of Republicans and including Trump? So does he have any chances for the next term?
My analysis is that the only Republican that Biden can beat is Trump.
Mm. Hmm.
That means that if Trump is candidate, Biden will win. Whoever
Mm.
other Republican is candidate, the other Republican win.
Okay.
Uh, whoever there are many good Republicans,
Mm-hmm.
but Trump
And
Trump Trump is impossible.
dear Mr. Attali, what is your opinion about possibility of Russian revolution in soon? Is it possible?
But
Y-
I don't see that happening to Putin.
Yeah, I
A
mean,
revolution, a
it,
revolution is
it.
impossible.
I think it depends on elites how they
Yeah,
will react on current situation. And I have already conversation with also um, probably your friend Bernard Henri Levy, and he said that it's a good idea to create something like it was in the end of 80s, like to create something like some is that special propaganda.
I know. Well, Bernard is also a friend of mine, but he's very often a dreamer, and it's a quality. My main concern, your weak point, is reputation.
Mm,
The only thing, the West has so many problems:
mm,
climate, uh, financial issue, social crisis, um, but they support Ukraine and they will support Ukraine because you are seen as a country of good.
mm,
And if you may convey my point of view to your president and your government and around you, whatever you do, even in terms of image, to say that you fight against corruption, um, you punish anyone which is seen having committed a war crime is very important
mm,
because the danger is that people say, well, Ukraine and Russia is the same, are the same. That is
mm.
terribly dangerous.
How do my
That's not
question also is philosophical, philosophy like what do you think about NATO expansion? Will it go further?
not now. You know, because of Article 5, if there was extension now, we have to enter into war against Russia, and nobody wants
Yeah.
to do it.